Welcome to the Sandbox, the #1 podcast for Sandbox gamers and hardcore PvP action. But be warned, viewer discretion is advised. And now your hosts, Bullet, Quint, and Nate Trial.
Welcome to episode number 40 of the Sandbox. Sorry, I killed that music a little early. It's something else. Anyway, today was our 40th episode. Who would ever thought we'd have gotten this far? Today we're going to talk about a little bit of clarification on Ultima Online moving to Broadsword, as well as Dark Age of Camelot. A little bit of Archage news. Salem's going to do a wipe. Does that mean we have to play that again, guys? Oh, man.
Hope not.
Pantheon fails its Kickstarter. A little bit of Pathfinder gameplay and Elder Scrolls Online beta drops, and we can finally talk about that. But first, let me introduce Quint.
Hey, what's up, dudes?
And Nate Rao.
What is going on, everyone?
Okay, so we normally start with what we've been playing, and let's kick that off with you, Quint.
Oh, man. You're going to jump right to me. Shortest list. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so I've actually been playing a little bit of Terra. I haven't gotten too far. What did I roll before? I had the warrior, the dual-wielding warrior guy. So I've been playing him a little bit. I haven't gotten too far. I decided to give the Slayer, the one that has the big axe, another shot. Because I've been seeing a lot of guys rolling around. And when I go to the town and stuff, there's just a lot of those guys standing around. And I feel like maybe I judged it too harshly. I didn't give it its fair shake. It still feels real slow, man.
Or the big sword?
No, the big axe.
So you have the Berserker?
Yeah, Berserker, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I don't feel the Berserker.
Dude, I want to, though, because he looks, when you have a beefed up Berserker, stand there like full heavy armor, big giant ass axe. I mean, it looks badass, and it seems like it would be badass to be that dude, but for some reason, it's just, I don't know, it's so slow. It's so hard.
I think that the way that the timing works on that, it's like animation timing, and for some reason, I feel like when I play a Berserker, like when he's thrusting his sword, kind of like you're like, oh wait, I want to do something different, but you got to wait for that to finish because the guy's already moved or something. I don't know. It feels sluggish to me.
Yeah, it's almost like you gotta. I guess it's a little more strategic in that you have to plan your attacks almost a step ahead of the person that you're fighting, because you kind of have to take into account where they're gonna be, because the attacks are slow. I don't know. I was having a little bit of fun with it. It's not bad. I think I'm gonna stick with it a little longer and see where it goes. It's a cool game though, man. I think I'm gonna get a code and do the whole Founders Pack and all that, because they say that
Sandbox.
Yeah, there you go.
right there. So, but you get good benefits, right, for being a founder. I mean, you get the bag space.
You get bag space, you get a mount, and more importantly, you open up you open up enough character slots to have one of each.
Yeah, right.
Without having to buy. It saves you money basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun in that game still. So if you want to play it, I will play it with you.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, we might have to do like a Terra Knight or something like that until at least I can get up to the right level. You're gonna have to help me grind up some dungeons and stuff like that, because it's a long haul.
Yeah, I've been wanting to roll a healer. I haven't decided if I want to roll a mystic or a priest.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one that's about your level. So that'll work. I'll just roll with you on that, and then if we get stuck, I'll go grind out gear with one of my higher level characters.
Oh yeah, okay.
And if anyone wants to join us on that, it's a lot of fun.
What server are we playing on again?
We're playing on Valley of Titans.
Okay.
There's two PvP servers. It's one of them,
Yeah.
and the PvP is pretty fun in the game. I mean, that is what the game's all about. I grind characters. Today I was just grinding some mobs, and some guy. I was about 3/4 health. And some guy jumped me, and I killed him. Felt good. Feels nice.
Always
So,
does.
Little boost to the ego.
get tired of losing a lot, you know. And when you're leveling a character, most of the time you get jumped. It's because you didn't see the people coming, and they clearly saw that they were going to win. You know, not a lot of people start a fight that they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Well, I do sometimes.
I think if you guys do a gaming night, I'd probably play it at least for one night.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, we're going to do a gaming night. Let's do that. Let's figure it out. Post it on our forums. You know, we should do a gaming night anyway. Play with some of our play. I know a lot of other podcasts and other communities do gaming nights, but it'd be fun if free to play game. Or I'd also kind of like to have a Diablo gaming night. I don't know.
yeah, just go ahead and list more non-sandboxes for our sandbox community.
Right.
Doesn't matter if the game is a sandbox. It's how you play the game.
Yeah.
You
Very
can play
true.
the game like a sandbox. Just forget the rules that they put out for you. Forget about all the little quests. Anyway, what else have you been playing, Quint?
So get into the sandbox stuff here. I've been playing a lot more Skyrim. Not online because, it's not, but what I have been doing is I've been getting really heavily into mods on the Nexus and all that. And I downloaded this. This was a nightmare. Okay, so there's this thing called E&B series. And what it is, it's almost like, I don't understand it, but it's like you're basically overhauling the graphics engine for the game. And it makes it look incredible. So you install this E&B series mods, and then you install these other recommended mods, and then there's like E&B series presets that people put on the Nexus. And it's just basically their kind of settings and stuff with a few this and that's, to make the game look certain ways. So I did this one. It's called Real Vision E&B, and for some reason, I don't know if I installed it wrong, I completely jacked my Skyrim game. Like, I could not play it. It was crashing on launch. Like, it was just bad. So I ended up uninstalling everything. All my mods, uninstalled the game, all that stuff, reinstalled it all from the ground up, including the E&B series, and all those recommended mods and all that stuff. And there's a program called Boss. And what that program does is you initialize it, and then it gives you an option. Do you want to run it for Oblivion or Skyrim? So I set Skyrim because that's what I'm playing. And what it does is it goes through and it basically will align your mods in the proper order that they're supposed to be, and it'll notify you if there's any errors with any mods and all that stuff, anything that needs to be removed because it's not necessary anymore. It's a great program. Ran that.
Does that work with the Steam Workshop?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's all that. But I haven't been using Steam Workshop. I've been going through the Nexus. I downloaded Nexus Mod Manager, and it's working. It's working great now. My Skyrim just looks nasty. Like, it's so good. It's a little sluggish on the system. I mean, I can get 30 FPS. I think if I tried to stream it, I might get 10. I need a new video card, basically. But it looks so rad. And go ahead.
What does EMB stand for?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I don't know. It's on there. I don't know what it stands for. I just installed it following a guide that someone put up. So, but it looks crazy. There's like depth of field. So if you're kind of zoomed in on someone, everything behind you looks blurry. Off in the distance, you can set things to look blurry depending on how far away they are. It just looks really, really cool. So I've been messing around with that a lot.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
I played a little Skyrim. I'll go over that. I'm
Yeah.
basically playing some Skyrim just to test out what I think I'm going to play in Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh,
I
cool.
had this idea for a character, so I tried to build it in Skyrim. Not that it's the same mechanics or anything. I just kind of wanted to kind of get a feel for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about that when I talk about my stuff.
Yeah.
Is that all you've been playing?
No, I got one other thing is there's been a lot of news and articles and just crap coming out concerning Dark Souls, because Dark Souls 2 is coming out, I think, next month, March 11th or 16th or something like that. And so there's been a lot of stuff about Dark Souls 1, and all that. So I've been trying just desperately trying to get back into the game because there's so many people who say like, this is the greatest game I've ever played, the best RPG I've ever played, and it's so hard to get into, and I really want to like it, and I'm kind of finally starting to get the hang of it, but it's required a few things. But cool, you've been
Patience, one of them.
yeah. Oh man, but
You know,
you've been on there too, right?
Oh yeah, you and I played a minute, and I played a little bit more today. I think you played more total. Do you know if if Dragon Age, Dark Souls, what am I talking about? Dark Souls 2 is, I think it's only launching next week on the PS3 and the Xbox 360.
Right, yeah. Their first launch is going to be PS3, Xbox 360. It is confirmed that they're going to do a PC launch, and they're also talking about doing a next-gen PS4 and Xbox One launch. I bet you they will. It'll come out like Dark Souls came out on PC. It'll be like the Prepare to Die edition on PS4 or something like that, you know?
Man, because you're not going to buy it on the PS3, are you?
No, I'll wait for it to come on PS4. What's that?
Have you retired your PS3?
No, it's still hooked up in case I want to play some Diablo or something on it.
Does the PS4, can you play Blu-ray on the PS4?
Yeah.
Okay. So just side note there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of, I played that with you on, it's a good game. It is punishing because, like, there was one time where I had to kill this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had to kill, like, 8 other guys to get to the guy I have to kill. And you can use these potions to restore your life. So every time I fought the main guy I was trying to kill, I would start with full health.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, if I die, then I have to go all the way back and fight through that whole group of people again.
Yeah.
That's where the game gets really punishing.
Yeah, and like when you die, you lose all your souls, and in Dark Souls, your souls are your currency for everything. You want to buy things, you want to upgrade items, you want to level up, you need souls for all that. So as you're like out there just harvesting and killing mobs and all that stuff, you're gaining souls. For everything you kill, you gain souls. If you travel 20 minutes to get to a boss and you collect up 4,000 souls, that's a couple levels at lower levels, and you die on that boss, you drop your souls there. It's a little glowing ball, and you have
which you can pick up as long as you don't die again.
Right. We have one shot to get back to it.
Right. So I figured that out, that it'll stay there even if you log out of the game and come back into the game.
Well, that's good to know. I mean,
because I found some of my souls still there.
yeah.
If you die, so let's say you have 4,000 souls sitting on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to your campfire because you died, and then you go back towards your 4,000 souls, and you die in the meantime.
They're gone.
Then you got like 200 sitting there from like the 3 mobs you killed on the way.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, that's good to know that it persists through, like, saving your game and turning it off, because I've got about 6,000 souls sitting at the feet of a freaking giant boss right now, who is just, oh my god, I spent, like, at least 3 hours last night trying to even, like, get close to beating this boss, and I don't think I'm ready yet. It's like the second boss you come at in the game. He's a gargoyle, and he's guarding a bell tower. And I've gotten to the point where I can almost beat him, and then just all hell breaks loose, and I run out of healing potions all the time. So I might try to grind up my faith stat a little bit to like 12, so I can use healing miracles, which is like the paladin sort of class.
So I kind of had a thing. I fought a boss that I was not ready to fight.
Mm-hmm.
It killed me. So my glowing essence or whatever was sitting right at his feet. So I ran in, I picked up my souls, and I ran back towards the campfire. And he chased me the whole way. And I got right to the campfire, and he killed me, which I then respawned, and he'd walk back to where he belonged.
Yeah.
Souls were there, so I got him back that way. So that was cool, because I had him on me when I died.
Mm-hmm.
So just go pick him up. First and foremost.
Yo, that's what I do. As soon as I drop into the boss area, I just run straight for the souls, grab them, and then try to get my wits about me at that. But I mean, as far as Dark Souls goes on the PC, I mean, this is kind of a continuation of my modding kick I've been on. Um, Vanilla, the game looks like crap. I mean, it's just pixely, just a disgusting nightmare of just ugliness because it was, it's made for the consoles and it was ported to the PC. Thankfully, on the Nexus, they finally, I don't know how long they've been there, probably a while, but I've finally discovered that there is now mods for Dark Souls to make it look really good. So there's like texture mods, and there's even a mod that I installed yesterday in hopes that you will also get it, cool it, because right now in Dark Souls there's co-op, but they make it impossible to play with anyone that you might know. You basically have to get to a certain point, defeat a certain boss. You will get a white stone that allows you to write on the ground. Then other players can see that and they can summon you to their game. In order to play with your friends, you have to play server roulette and keep logging in, logging out until you guys finally happen to get set onto the right server. So what this one mod does is it actually prioritizes the servers that you get put on to be on the same servers as your Games for Windows Live friends list first. So if both people have that mod, then you get prioritized to be on the same server, which makes it easier. So hopefully we'll test that out soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna load that. The reason why I didn't load the mods at first was because I figured it'd take me about a half hour to load up all the mods.
Mm-hmm.
It's about how long I thought I would last in the game because it's how long I last. But I am enjoying it. And if we can figure that out, I'll load that up tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm a little ahead of you, so if you summon me into your game, I can help you on that boss, and then you can actually get that too, and then we can kind of go back and forth into each other's games.
Excuse me. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's it, man.
I bought the game in the summer sale. Yet to play it.
Oh, you should try it
So-
out, Nate. It's
You-
brutal. I was
Nate,
pulling my hair out last night.
What's that? Call it?
play through that game without killing anything. Just to,
Okay.
all right. So, what have you been playing though? Because we know you haven't been playing Dark Souls.
No. So I played some The Secret World. We hopped in there with Gumber, went through that first dungeon in
Number. That's it. That's the only people that were playing that.
Gumber and you.
Oh, okay.
I did say we, just didn't clarify the we yet. Yeah, what's that first area?
Cthulhu. It's like the first. Oh, the first area. I don't. New England. I don't know. But-
King's Mouth. The
Yeah.
Yeah, Kingsmouth.
The first dungeon or what? I don't even think it's not really even the first instance. I would say.
okay, yeah.
Not impressed with the instances. The one instance, the only one instance I've been in Secret World. Let me clarify that, because it wasn't like, I don't know. It was like, okay, well, here's a boss. Now walk. Here's another boss, and now walk over here, and here's another boss. How imaginative.
Okay, it's not imaginative, but what's nice about it is you're not fighting through waves and waves of trash mobs to get to the part you actually care about.
I don't know. I like the trash. I think it's more immersive that way. But, to each his own. I'm not, I don't really like the game that much anyway, so I'm not really the best judge on that one.
I don't know. I don't know how the other raids play out. Obviously, it's the very first one, so I'm sure they get more complex and more challenging. I thought it was fun. I love the game. It's got decent combat. The story is very good. The voice acting is some of the best in any MMO. It's better than the Old Republic, which I don't know. I spent $100 million on voice acting alone.
See, I'm kind of shooting down everything you're saying. I apologize for that, but I want to get my point across because I don't want to re-talk about the Secret World. I don't get it. I don't get why people are so into the voice acting of games. I like to live out the story that I'm living out. Like, this is my character. This is what I'm doing. And I know some people say, oh, the voice acting in this game was horrible. Who even listens to that crap? I don't. Do you guys? You do?
I love it.
I do in this particular game because the Secret World plays like a great single-player role-playing game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're talking like a Dragon Age type of game, this is perfect for that. This could have released with a couple minor changes as a top-tier PC role-playing game. So the voice acting to me helps that part of it, along with the investigation quest that it has in the game. So you're right. I kind of agree with you, though. It's not that important, but it's a nice little added touch.
I don't like to play very many single RPGs anyway, single player. So I don't know. It's just I don't mind the game. I would rather play Age of Conan because it's got better PvP rules, in my opinion. But I haven't done the PvP in the Secret World because it's like a totally separate thing from what I understand, right?
Yeah, it is. I've never done it. Gumber has. He seems to like it. It's very the battleground instance type of stuff. So
I don't get that. I don't know why. And this is like another like soapbox type thing here, but I don't understand why people do that. Well, here's your game, and then PvP is a different game. You know what I mean? I know that it's cool to take all the gear that you've made and take it someplace to fight, but it's like, I don't know. I want the PvP to be part of the whole game. Anyway.
that's what I enjoy. It's not the easiest thing to design, especially for a theme park game. So I think that's why it gets tacked on like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I guess, I mean, it kind of in the Secret World seems like an afterthought. Well, we want to also capture the people who like to PvP, so we're going to put that in the game. Because if we don't put it in the game, people are going to say, oh, there's no PvP. So I guess maybe that's why they do it that way. But I don't know. It just seems like so removed from the game. Like Age of Conan and the Secret World seem very similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
combat-wise?
the game seems similar. Like totally different settings, but just the way it plays.
Well, someone once said that I heard it once somewhere that the Secret World is like basically Funcom's gift to the people who loved Tortage in Age of Conan.
But even Tortage, even the first 20 levels of Age of Conan,
Mm-hmm.
open world PvP. You had it in White Sands, you had it in the Underhills, you had it in the Temple, whatever that ruins, whatever that place. And the reason why I can rename that stuff because I've been playing that again. But I don't understand, Anyway, finish talking about the Secret World because I don't get it. I don't know why it's fun.
I think they fine-tuned their Age of Conan stuff, the same engine, and the Secret World is probably why a lot of it's similar. If you're after a PvP-focused game, I mean, that wouldn't be the one I would play. What you're listening to Age of Conan would appeal because they have a whole rule set and server for it. But the Secret World is to me almost as good as it gets if you're looking for story and unique gameplay. It's not the same, WoW 2.0 game. So
No, that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. Like you said, it's not really that much of an MMO, in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of people running around, but you're not really doing anything with very many people.
No, it's just kind of a multiplayer mystery RPG.
Right. You can buy somebody while they're doing their quest.
yeah, I was hooked. I did the first investigation quest, and man, at that point on, I was sold on the game. So,
Play it.
what's that?
What do you mean you're sold on the game?
I played the entire first zone.
I'm just giving you crap. Anyway, what did you play? Is there anything else you want to mention about Secret World? I kind of stepped all over your stuff there. I'm sorry. But I had stuff to say.
I'll just say it's a unique game. It's I think it's one that a lot of MMO players go into, and it's so different. The skill system, the combat, the story, the investigation quests, it all interworks so differently from a regular MMO that they're turned off by it and dismiss it way too quick. But if you're looking for something different, I think it's a good MMO to go to.
We'll say though that when you put your character together and you choose two different weapons, and then you have like, I don't know, 6 or 8 active skills you can use from those two weapons you choose, and then you also have 6 or 8 passive skills that you can use. There is a lot too trying to figure out. Gumber helped me, but there's a lot of ways that you can choose those and do a lot of different things, which is cool. but it would be
Very cool.
cooler if there was open world PvP. Anyway, I don't understand any game that doesn't have open world PvP. So, I mean, I understand it. I just don't know why anyone would play them. But
Yeah, I mean, that is our preferred game, but unfortunately, most MMOs aren't designed that way, or at least most AAA MMOs aren't.
exactly. So, you know what they used to be, though? But anyway, what else have you been playing?
Well, I mean, that was like one play session, one evening. Everything else has been Star Wars Galaxies, in particular, swgemu.com. So it's great. Freaking love Star Wars Galaxies. Never played it before. Last few weeks, and I'm very into it. We just got into Guild in Corellia. Got a house put down for the first time, so I have like a home base area. Starting to learn the game more. I'm working through the rifleman tree. It was almost a make or break it point because the game is really grindy. It also has a very, very slow start because you begin the game as a piece of crap. And the more you play and work through your tiers, the better your guy gets and the harder stuff you can do. And I was trying to do missions, and the one way you're supposed to succeed in these missions is you do an AoE. So you attack the center thing, you plop down this AoE spell or attack, all the mobs come there, you kill them really quick, and then you do the next mission. So my big AoE for Rifleman was on the third skill on my Rifleman tree, which is a long grind to get there from someone who hardly kill things. So when I finally got to that, I was worried that the skill would suck. But once I got there, the whole game changed. I was going through missions like crazy, making crap loads of money. So it paid off. All that grinding and slow start paid off. Now my guy is starting to roll. I'm almost actually done with the Rifleman tree. And now that I have the house, I'm getting into a bit more of the sandboxy stuff. So, like I've got, we're getting extractors down tonight to feed into our medic stuff. And one of the guys I play with, he's making a smuggler, so you can have like spice. And for that, you got to have extractors down. So it's kind of neat. All those feed into factories. Yeah.
What does being in a guild, how does that improve the situation?
The only way it's improved it so far is when I log in, I have people to talk to, and then advice to get, and then they also run the city that we're in. So when they have enough player houses down, enough players in the guild and in that one area, they were able to form a city. So the city is our own cantina, our own guild hall, our own vendor mall where people can put their vendors in to attract attention. If you get a couple more people, we can put a shuttle down, which will allow us to travel across the whole world. We take one shuttle like from us to another part of the planet. And then I think they're Imperial, so I have to start working through the Imperial faction, and then that will help with PvP because our guild will fight for our faction on top of whatever guild wars we happen to get in. It's a smaller group, but that's kind of why I picked it. And one, they're starting out. I want to go to someone fully established.
Are you?
Huh?
You guys aren't role playing?
No. I made sure.
2 rules on Sandbox. We don't role play. If you're a guy, don't play a female character, right? We all agree on that?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kind of, I don't know. I like the Star Wars Galaxy. I like Star Wars Galaxies. The emulator, it's fun. I would never see myself joining a guild, though. I don't know why. It just seems like a sandbox game is so much. I don't know. It seems more fun not to be part of a group. I don't know. Do you have to? Like, were you impeded on your progress?
No. I mean, my progress hasn't helped.
Tell you what to do?
Yeah, no. I think it's just because I'm playing this so much, I wanted people to play it with.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's really it. So, the game is great. The community is large. There's people everywhere. Development is active.
On that server.
Usually 2,400 people.
Now they're working on that, right?
Yeah, the creature handler and the droid engineer stuff isn't out yet, and neither is the you can't become a Jedi right now. So I think
no, I'm kind of baiting you to talk about something we already talked about. What's going to happen when they finish those things?
so. I think the current roadmap is get the creature handler and droid engineer, the pet class system in the game, which from everything it sounds like they're really close. That will come out in a future publish, and then when the game launches, it launches with the Jedi system, which I think is the village. I don't know if you'll know the history of the Jedi in the game, but that's one particular system to become a Jedi. And then once it launches, it'll come with a new server with a fresh start. The server we're on now will either wipe or will keep going. They've not committed either way. It's supposed to wipe, but I think there's talk that it won't. And then after launch, their focus is getting the jump to light speed out. So that would be all your ships and starfighters and space combat. So
Cool.
So is this still being considered like beta? Is that what's going on?
yes, this is still considered beta. It's a very far beta because almost all of the game is working.
Yeah.
And it's working really well. It's working well enough to have that active of a community. So,
wouldn't it be funny if they put NG in it?
Just as a big practical joke. Oh, surprise! Welcome to NGE. We had to do it. Sorry.
Oh, that would be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, have we talked about Star Wars Galaxies enough? Is there more?
no, I mean that's it. I mean it's a great game, and if you missed it like I did when it was out, then the emulator is a great place to go check it out.
Yeah, I was about ready to join you guys again and tell you I found out you guys joined a guild, and that game is so role play-ish, like a lot of the people a lot of the people who still play the game are really part of it is because of the whole massively people are so stuck on that game still. It's almost like it's turned me off to it, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the glasses are a bit rose tinted as far as it goes, but I can see why. There's a lot of games because it did a lot of innovation and it was pushing the sandbox, and they completely went the other direction with it.
They missed their window in two ways. The sandbox thing wasn't really ready yet. People weren't really itching for it, and they missed their window because the game didn't run well on the people's machines. Well, the game launched really bad. I remember playing it at launch. I played it in beta and it ran fine, and then at launch it didn't work. I don't know. Anyway, let me talk about what I've been playing. I played Terra a bit. We already kind of talked about that. I'm still enjoying it. There is the PvP, the combat in the PvP is why I play it. I give a crap about anything else in the game. I just want to go out and fight people, and it's fun. And you have to, obviously you have to get your character up, and you have to get there's item levels you have to get up. I don't think people really want to hear that much more about Terra. If anyone wants to play Terra with us, shoot me an email at coolit@gmail or come find us. My character's name is Coolit, surprisingly enough.
Come find him and kill him.
Try me. Come kill me.
Try.
Also, I played The Secret World. We talked about that. Done talking about that. Age of Conan. You know what's cool about Age of Conan is that you start PvPing at level 7. I was running 3 kills, no deaths when I hit level 7. And then it all went horribly wrong. But
Yeah.
No, you had more than that. You had 6. You were saying I'm going to go undefeated till cap.
I knew that wasn't going to happen. But man, what a lot of fun! And there's a lot of viable classes to PvP with. So I rolled is it archer or ranger, whatever it is, and there's 3 classes that have stealth. I think any class you can level stealth, but I did a ranger, and I could sneak around and just pop up and kill somebody. But then there's this dude rolling around the same level as me with a necro, and he had 80 pets. No, not really, but he had 7 or 8 pets. And he didn't stealth. He just rolled in and killed everybody. So it was cool. It was fun. I teamed up with some guys who I didn't know. It wasn't like our normal players. Not even people in the guild I was in Age of Conan. Just some guys, and we just rolled around and fought another group of people. So it was a lot of fun. I would love to play more Age of Conan, and I think I will. The problem with it is I don't know. There's no problem. It's just I don't see myself sticking with it long enough at this point before Elder Scrolls comes out to take it seriously. I don't know.
To get to those end game sieges with a capped and ready player.
You know, the graphics hold up very well in that game, and the play isn't exactly tab target, but it's not tab target. You know, anyone who's played it knows what it's like. It's a good game. It's a really good game. And the hardcore PvP server basically is you can only have one character per account. And then a lot of the make life easy rules don't apply on that server. Like you can't do the instant leveling and stuff like that. And when you die, you drop stuff. You may drop something you have, but more importantly, I mean, not more importantly, but it also might just create stuff on your corpse that you drop. It's cool. It's fun. I don't know exactly what the in-game PvP is like in it. I mean, I knew back when it launched, but I know they added a bunch of like stuff. Does anyone know?
No, I've got a high level character, but I don't think I've ever really gotten into anything high level.
Well, I think they added a lot of like PvP, like you build something and you can attack something. I don't know. I should look into that and report back. Anyway,
Yeah.
So Dark Souls, a little bit with Quint. We're gonna continue that hopefully. Then I was on YouTube and I watched a Witcher 3 video. Have you guys seen that game? Have you guys seen what that game is going to be?
Yes, it looks
Yeah.
awesome, man.
So I was like, well, man, I never really played much Witcher 2, and I didn't even think I owned it. So I popped up Steam on sale, $3, Witcher 2. So I downloaded it, and very linear. Now
It is.
one of the problems I have with that game is that, like, if you play on like the easy mode, you can go through the story, but it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't die. I mean, it's too easy. But the next level, it's like a big jump. You're like repeating stuff over and over, which nobody really wants to do either. I couldn't find a happy medium on that. So, but basically, I stopped playing it. You know, then like I said, I played Skyrim a little bit to try to work out my build. I'm trying to do a healer rogue. So like a guy who can stealth and do a lot of damage, but also can res and heal.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to be possible. I think it will. Because I've been listening to some other podcasts or reading some about people's ideas of builds for Elder Scrolls Online.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have some cool ideas for builds. Like I had one guy that was like a mage archer. It's like supposedly just rapes, but not in PvP. I'm thinking about hitting level 10 and PvPing for the rest of the time I play that. You know, and maybe do some other stuff just to get the right gear.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I want to hit level 10 and PvP as a main focus. What I don't know is how well you can level doing only that.
I don't either. But, you know, I will, you know, PvP and then go, you know, PvE when you guys are on. We can group up together and try to find the gear that we need or whatever. Okay, so that's what I've been playing, but let me talk about one other thing. So I decided I wanted to get one of the next gen consoles.
All right.
And, you know, I had an Xbox 360, and before that I had an Xbox, and before that I had a PlayStation. So I never had a PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3. So I was my buddy has an Xbox One, and I was messing with it at his house. Basically, he's not a gamer. He just wanted it so he could yell at his TV to turn the channel or something. And that's awesome. That's kind of what I ended up going with PS4. And I'm going to kind of go over my thought process of why I did that and what games I've played on there. So I looked at the Xbox 360 game list or Xbox One game list,
Mm-hmm.
looked at the PlayStation 4, and didn't see any games on either of those lists I give a crap about. So it really wasn't about the games. And I think that any games coming out exclusively is more about, like, for an MMO player, I think the PlayStation 4 is going to win that out. I don't know. The PlayStation 4 was $100 cheaper, but that didn't really matter because I really wasn't basing it off of that. I think I based it off the fact that Quint had a PS4, and if I was going to end up playing anything with anyone, it's going to be with Quint.
Yeah.
And that I could automatically play Warframe and DCUO, which I'm not a fan of either of those games, really, but it's something, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
go ahead.
you got Sony Online, which is, or SOE has committed to bringing PlanetSide 2 and EverQuest Next to PS4.
I think
Right.
Landmark too.
So that right there is a done deal, right? Because EverQuest Next I'm going to play. You know, I hope that, and I was thinking about that with Elder Scrolls Online, like, do I want to buy that for the PlayStation? I already bought the Imperial Edition for the PC.
Yeah.
Do I want to buy that for the PlayStation 4? There's no crossover. So I have to have, like, another sub there. I have to have a new character. But sometimes it's nice, especially with me who have kids, to not, like, isolate myself from the whole family for so long.
Yeah.
Let's sit in the front room, let them sit around and, watch Daddy gank some noobs, right? I don't know. Anyway, so I did get the PlayStation 4. My PlayStation ID is Sandbox Podcast. If anyone wants to to join me in Warframe or DCUO, if I ever go back to those. I am excited about Diablo 3 coming out on that, though.
Yeah.
I want to play Diablo 3 with a controller, and that's the only way to do it.
It's great, dude.
Yeah. You have it on the 360, right?
No, I have it on the PS3, and
That's-
I think I heard something about they're gonna do some kind of upgrade deal. I know from what I understand, they're planning on bringing it to PS4, and I think they're gonna do like an upgrade for free or a discounted upgrade for people who have it on PS3 to PS4. But don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that they didn't do the backwards compatibility with the two systems, but
I know.
there's a lot of reasons why they didn't. It's
A quick clarification: the Elder Scrolls, it's 2 separate servers. So if you buy it on a console, you can't play with someone on the PC.
Well, it's gonna be 3 servers. They have the PlayStation servers, the Xbox servers, and the PC servers, and PC
And-
Mac.
And the big difference between that and something like Final Fantasy XIV, which comes to the PS4 in April, is your same character can be played on
Mm-hmm.
PS4, PS3, and the PC.
Yeah, which is really a bummer that you don't like Final Fantasy Cooler, because I mean it's not a bad game. It's just a very story-driven game.
yeah. Let's not talk about Final Fantasy. Last time, remember I said I subbed and I played for 5 minutes? Well, then I went to go cancel my sub,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually canceled my Square Enix account.
Oh, I did that the first time I played Final Fantasy 11.
God. Sorry, I had to wake up by somebody. So now I okay, well, it's on the PlayStation 4. So on the PlayStation 4, it's not released yet. It's just a beta.
Right.
Okay, well, I'll play it. You know what? I've got this PlayStation 4. I might as well do something before I bought the kids the Lego movie game. Now we have one game. So I downloaded it, and just to let anyone know who buys a PlayStation 4, whenever you want to play your games, buy the PlayStation 4 a day before that, because it's got the slowest downloads on the planet.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Drives me nuts. Anyway, so I'm trying to get my account reinstated so I can try it on the PlayStation 4.
I don't think the beta is active on the PS4 yet, though.
It is. It said.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I have it downloaded, but it said that it was down for maintenance, so I didn't know if it. I might have just tried to access it at a time that it was just not up.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna be up for like a couple weeks or something. I mean, they have a time frame. I don't remember what that time frame was. Anyway, I might give it another try, but dude. Anyway, so that being said, why don't you guys take us through the news?
All right. I just want to do a quick clarification for our last podcast. The DAOC, Dark Age Camelot, and Ultima Online, they had a new studio forum called Broadsword. that studio is made from former developers at EA. They now have their own studio, and what they did is they acquired the rights to manage those games. So EA still owns Dark Age Camelot. They still own UO, but all of the managing is happening at the Broadsword studio.
Supposedly they've been given a lot of kind of creative freedom, right, to kind of take the game the way they want to take it too.
Yeah, I mean they can. It looks like they can code away whatever they want, but technically at any point EA could still say, "Oh, we're kind of done. We're having you manage it. We're going to give it to these guys over here,
right? And I
or
wouldn't
take
put
it back in
past
house."
them because they've already switched it like twice. So
So just a clarification for how that studio works. It's not actually a part of EA anymore.
I look at it as we're not playing those games, so any change that they're making can only be good. Because
Exactly.
the only thing that can change is we start playing them, right?
Yeah, and one thing you mentioned was you're hoping they would modernize Dark Age Camelot a little bit, and that's exactly one of their lines in their letter to the community.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Hopefully they don't modernize it by making, dungeon finders and ease of life things. And
just put in cash shops everywhere like EA loves to do.
Yeah.
EA's kind of the devil. Kind of the devil. I don't know, man. It's like, who's more of the devil, them or Comcast? Because it's a freaking close call.
But yeah, we'll go with Comcast. I guess the next news blurb is mine. Arcade. We'll put this in our show notes. There's a forum thread that kind of covers patches and what's happening with the game. If you read the whole thread, the basic consensus for Arcade and Korea at the moment is the development seems to lead continuously to more theme park and preventing the open world PvP type of sandbox environment they originally announced the game as. Doing things like, it has a really cool pirate system where you steal supplies and trade routes. And it's still in the game, but the rewards from it are way lower. And there's they're putting in more safe zones. If you read it, a lot of it kind of doesn't really make sense because we're not playing the game. We don't know all the intricate details. And some of this could be just people disgruntled with it. Who knows how much of it is really true. We haven't got our hands on the game ourselves. So.
That sucks.
It is out in Russia, or it's about to launch.
They're launching in Russia, but it's like I've been trying to get in on one of those betas. I did that with Ion. I got in the Korea beta or the China beta or something like that, and they had an English patch. And I've been trying to figure out how to do that with Arcade because I'd like to try it, but it's kind of like, do you guys kind of feel like we were so stoked about Arcade, whatever you want, and then it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of losing steam on that one. Anyone?
Yeah, the more we find out about it, the less excited I am. That's for sure.
It's also kind of like, well, weren't we talking about this 2 years ago? Remember, first interviewed the guys from Embers of Karis, and where they were like, "Oh yeah, this game's gonna come out like 2014." We're like, 2014, man, that seems so far away. I'm not even interested.
Right.
I mean, they're coming out in 2014 anymore, of course, but it's like, man, it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of over hearing about games that are more than a year away. It's just me. But so, I mean, why I bring that up is it's like I'm kind of losing interest in Arcade because I don't know. It seems like I'm like all the interest I had in that is kind of more towards EverQuest Next now. But whatever.
Yeah, it could be fun. The in-game PvP sounds similar to, all the big PvP and guild stuff happens on a part away from the main game. It's like a northern continent area.
See, I'm not opposed to that as long as you can just stay there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool. All the systems sound neat. The housing, all the stuff around your house, the piracy stuff. I just want to be able to play it, and trying is really dragging their feet. You know, I don't care that they're dragging their feet. That's fine. They don't really communicate anything to anyone. Here's where we're at. Here's where we're going to get the game. You know, no timetables, no
Yeah,
updates.
and they do cater to the ease of life MMO player. It's like a business model, you know. They definitely like not Terra, Rift. Rift was, I mean, it launched well. It was a polished game, but it was definitely more of a easy mode MMO in my opinion, from what I played of it at least.
Yeah, so if they're making any changes to it, I mean, if they're going to alter the code besides translating, it's probably going to lean more that way.
Because, you know, I guess there's a lot more people who will be willing to play a game that's a little bit easier on them than people who, you know, want to play hardcore.
Yeah, and it just seems to be the trend too with, you know, American gamers and all that stuff too. I mean, look how popular World of Warcraft and games like that are here. You know, I think in Korea and outside of the U.S., there's probably, I guess there's a lot more people who are interested in the more hardcore experience, whereas here, maybe we just kind of like it a little easy mode.
There is an opposite trend happening. Look at how huge Rust is and how huge DayZ is,
Yeah.
and any other game like that. There's a market for it.
And there's a new one that's like top of the list. It's kind of beat out Rust and DayZ. It's like another like similar type game. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
No. Mm-mm. They've announced some new ones that just hit greenlighted, but kind of more of the same.
Yeah. Here, I'm pulling it up right now. You don't have to stop the show, but
Just
No.
keep on keeping on.
because it's like the top seller. It's called Banished. Have you heard of that?
No.
No.
It's $20. It's one of those, you know, pre-alpha ones. I know nothing of it, so I probably shouldn't have brought it up. I'm curious to know how it beat out those two games, but we'll see. Anyway, so what else is going on?
Then you got Salem. So the big news was Salem. I don't know if you guys have. When's the last time y'all played Salem online? We've kind of discounted it as a piece of crap, not for us. But they are wiping the whole server, which they promised they wouldn't do. And I mean, if you play that game, it's got a horrendous initial grind, and there's a lot of work, a lot of legwork, and there's a lot of history on those servers. They're wiping everything to combine it into one server with a new map tile generator, so a whole new like map and river system and mountain and they're revamping the gluttony system, which is basically how you progress stat-wise on that game.
Imagine if you were the one guy who like has played that game since it was released, and you're like got yourself all built up, and you know it's just I know there's got to be at least one dude.
Okay.
You know, probably only one dude. That guy's probably pissed.
I don't mind grinding in games, but the grind there isn't grinding killing things. It's finding things and looking at them. You know what I mean? Like you find things and then you absorb it kind of to raise a learning attribute kind of that you can eventually spend to raise it to read and learn. It's I mean, am I explaining? I mean,
Yeah, so but the grind does change. It starts off finding items and putting them into stats, and then it goes from farming and you're doing it that way to go to your skill system, because you could start to almost self-sustain your character progression, but you have to dump a ton of time into farming.
Yeah.
And it's a really weird system. So, which I don't know how much the revamp is affecting it, like what all they're doing, how much that grind are changing. Either way, they're odd as hell systems.
so if you ever spent money in the game, which I know someone who has,
Yeah, not me. I've never spent $100 on that game.
so if you spent money in the game, now they're wiping the server, what happens to the money you spent?
You get it all back. So you don't get your current pool of money you've made or your current pool of stuff. But if you put money into their cash shop, you get that back to spend on the new server.
Yeah. So whatever.
At least they're doing that.
You
You
can
know-
go read this forum thread though. Like, I don't know, 6 or 7 posts down. There's one guy on there crying. Oh, it's so bad.
Oh man, we'll have to link to it in the show notes.
That reminded me of Worm. I feel so bad for those guys, man. Whoever DDoS attacked Worm is a bad person. I mean,
Is this
come
new? When did this happen?
Worm,
Yeah, the
the big organization, the nice guys who try to put out a game that people like, and someone's going to attack it. It's horrible.
so the 1.2 patch is awesome. I want to get in there and check it out and talk about the crafting UI overhaul for this podcast. And it's been DDoS attacked constantly. I don't even know if it's up now.
Oh man.
But it's just like, talk about kicking the underdog, man. It's like that ain't cool. You know, I mean, I don't think it's cool to do it to any company, but maybe Comcast. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so yeah, that sucks. I don't know. Are we going to go in and spend your $100 in Salem?
Well, I'll go back as long as we have some guys that want to play it.
Do right? You have that much money just floating?
Man, I put so much time into it. I played it 2 or 3 months, got everything I could out of it. I
eBay?
don't have.
You can try eBay that account.
Oh man, maybe I don't know. We should go back, put a base down, see what happens.
I'll go back. I mean, I wish that they would have made it a little bit more combat oriented and a little bit less. I don't know, a little bit less. Walk around looking for stuff on the ground. Anyway, so all right, so that's that. Any more? Pantheon. Let's talk about Pantheon.
Go ahead, Quinn. This one's yours.
Oh well, basically Pantheon did not do so well in Kickstarter. Poor Mr. Brad McQuaid. Not good. I mean, what does this say? What are they gonna do now?
They're still gonna make it.
They're still moving forward.
I don't know. I mean, I think that what it is I think people are just over this crap, man. It's like just you got like Mark Jacobs, Richard Garriott, now Brad McQuaid, and you know that they were doing cross marketing between the games too, and then you have the whole Star Citizen thing.
Yeah.
It's like, enough, man. I don't know. I'm over it. I mean, I did kickstart this, or tried to. I guess now that I don't have to pay it, right? But I'm over it. I'm so over it. Like, you know, I don't mind spending the $60 to play Landmark. I didn't mind that. I don't know. I'm just over some of this stuff. I feel bad that it had to be Brad McQuaid, you know, but I think that if Richard Garriott would have been the third one, that he would have failed too.
Yeah. Well, their initial goal was 800,000, right? I mean, do we know how much they reached? How high they got?
They were close. I'm gonna look it up while you guys talk about it.
They hit like between 400 and 500. They had a lot to go.
Yeah.
They were at like 430 or whatever with 8 hours left. Yeah, wasn't good. I think it's less about people being burnt out in Kickstarter and more about he just didn't really run a very good campaign. For 30 days. You basically got lore, class reveals, race reveals, and that's it. And then a week ago, he's already going on about looking for other investment. And he might have, if they did a proper push, he might have got the money. It sure seemed like Camelot Unchained really went hard on that Kickstarter, and they got the benefit on that final day and got their money. So
I think that's the one I'm looking the most forward to now is Camelot Unchained. It looks good. Looks, you know, but you know, who cares, man? Who cares about any of this until it's like at least 6 months from being released, right?
Yeah, we're basically being asked to give money to vaporware,
and then we hear about it. Then I have to get emails about it every freaking day. I don't know. Maybe I'm bitter. It's like, come on, man. Just, I don't know.
I've started kickstarting more like indie game projects, 2D art stuff. Like I don't know these MMO. I did Kickstart Repopulation. That's coming out this year.
Yeah, I don't know if that's coming out this year,
Mhm.
but I will. I would support that one. That's but those guys are kind of like the way it should be. These aren't like guys who've already made millions of dollars on MMOs, right? These guys are guys who had an idea and they put it together. I don't know. I'm probably contradicting myself if I really go back and listen to everything I've said, but
Yeah. Well, moving along with the Kickstarter, did we already discuss the new Pathfinder video that was just released?
no.
Oh, well, let's go ahead and talk about that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Nate.
it's well, the video is cool because we've seen screenshots. I don't think I've seen actual gameplay footage. And it's a lot of footage.
Yeah,
The game world looks awesome. Uh,
I've got it up on the screen right now.
I mean, when you watch it, I wasn't sold on the combat. It looks pretty generic, very tab target.
Was it tab target? I watched the video just for a second.
I mean, it's hard to tell exactly because we're not playing it ourselves, but it sure looks like it might be. And
Yeah,
then,
maybe, huh?
and the animations, which I mean, indie company, you're not going to get great animations, but the animations are subpar. I don't know. Combat is not going to be the most important thing in this game, anyways. It's more of their sandbox elements they're putting in, and the
The
world
storytelling
building
too.
and the world building you can do in it. So maybe should have waited a little longer to show us combat because I think this is their first big push on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they were excited to because their whole last big like their past 8 weeks development have been their combat system.
Yeah,
So
it's weird. It almost reminds me a little bit of Dark Age of Camelot mixed with some, was it Darkfall?
yeah,
It's not a bad combination.
full loot PvP. We're gonna play it. We'll probably play the hell out of it. Maybe get a closer release. The combat will get to something where we actually like and appreciate it.
Yeah.
But check out the video. The game world looks cool. I like their artwork. Look
Yeah.
of the game.
Cool. So we're kind of running out of time here.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and drop down to the main topic of the show today. And this is kind of big news. Elder Scrolls Online finally drops their NDA, like officially. So let's talk about it. I got a few topics here, and we could just kind of play off of it. You want to give your general rundown? Cool. What do you think about the game?
So my thoughts on the game are the first beginning part, just get through it.
Yeah.
Until when you go through that beginning part, I mean the first beta I was in, I played the beginning part and I was like, I'm done, I'm not playing anymore. And Quint was like, dude, I think that's when I met you in LA for a couple of drinks, remember?
Mhm.
You're like, man, it opens up because we really couldn't talk about it anywhere else, but because no, it opens up and it gets better. And so then I played a little bit more and you and I ran around for a bit and it does open up. It feels like Elder Scrolls. To me, it feels like Elder Scrolls,
Yeah.
like Skyrim, Oblivion style game. The only difference is some of the crates have already been gone through, which is obviously because there's other people playing. But man, when I saw that PvP video and saw what was going on there, I really started getting excited about it to the point where I was like, okay, well, we need to put a guild together for this. So,
Yeah.
how about you, Nate? Did you play it?
Yeah, I got 2 characters in the level 10 area. I wish I had known I could get in PvP at that time because this last beta round you could. I should have re-downloaded it, got back in and checked it out because that video definitely has me much more excited for the game.
And they didn't type either, so your 10 would have been there.
Yeah. As far as the graphics go, it's in the feel of the game. You feel like you're in an Elder Scrolls game. It's got the Skyrim UI has been retooled to be an MMO, and the way your character moves, animations, combat, all that is look and feel is very much like you're in Elder Scrolls, which I like. It settles you right in to play it.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Oblivion, more so than Skyrim. I mean, it just really feels very Oblivion to me.
Yeah. So what do you think, Quint? Are you sold?
Yeah, definitely. I like it. One of the things that I find myself struggling with when it comes to it, though, is I struggle with the fact that it's an MMO. Whenever I go into an MMO, I have this mindset of just trying to, progress and progress and progress and progress. Because otherwise, if you don't progress fast enough, you fall behind the curve, and then you kind of get left out, and then eventually interest drops off, and I never made it that far in that game. Whereas like Skyrim, I think I probably have like 200 hours in Skyrim. So
do your own pace.
yeah, so I'm really going to take an effort to slow down and really just kind of play it like I'm playing Oblivion.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you guys feel about like the PvP versus PvE content? What do you think you're going to spend more time in?
Me personally, I'm going to spend a lot of time in Cyrodiil. That is, there's a whole level of, single player content in there, tons of single player content in there, but it's open PvP zone. So,
yeah. The story in this game is awful. It doesn't do anything to get you into it.
Well, to clarify that though, you have to clarify that story at the first few levels is awful.
Yeah, that's right. True. It's the first 10 levels are not good.
Now, there's 3 different stories too, and I hear that one of them is way better than the other 2.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I've tried all 3 of them, and I mean, I enjoy Daggerfall, but I think what it comes down to is what you're interested in.
How about it comes down to writing good content and then making your first 10 levels worth playing?
Yeah.
Read it like I do. I don't read that crap.
I read it, and I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan, so I want that content to be good. And it just isn't. It's not interesting.
What any of the Elder Scrolls stories were about.
Yeah.
And then it's just so linear, but it does open up. And once it opens up, if you kind of wander around, do your own thing, you can ignore that main story more. I will definitely be hanging out in the PvP zone as much as I can. At least that's my goal.
And it looks like they're putting some consequences to the death. Not consequences to the point of dropping items, but it's going to be a pretty decent haul back to the battle, which I think is good, so you don't have people just, gate crashing, running and dying.
Yeah.
It's going to be a decent amount of time it takes you to come back. That's why I'm doing the res character. I'm going to be resing you fools.
Well, we've heard, too, that the performance so far in that PvP zone with a lot of players is really good.
Oh, really? Yes, I haven't heard that yet.
Awesome sign for what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know if there's more than one PvP zone?
Well,
is there multiple instances of that area?
It will be, but you won't notice it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's supposed to be completely seamless. The fact is there's... Oh, go ahead.
But like in Darkfall, where it's like, hey, Orc and Beans owns this keep, right?
Right.
Know that. So in Elder Scrolls Online, it's going to be, well, yeah, you own that keep on that instance, but we own it on this instance.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I didn't think about that. Hopefully they do the keeps and the holdings as one thing. I think it's just going to be the players that are phased in and out because, graphically you can... I think they said... Go ahead, Ron.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
Well, yeah. But they said that, graphically they can only render, 200 people on a screen at a time. So I think that's how they do it, but I'm not sure.
I heard that it's 2,000 people at a time, and it would be capped per... so each of the 3 factions are allowed to have, an equal amount. So all your factions all in there, then you're screwed. Someone else, the other faction has... You have to... It balances it somehow. But I mean, this is all hearsay, and I don't, get too much into this is how it works when we're wrong, or we potentially don't really know. But I just kind of hope that it is that way. That there's here's this keep, and these people own it. Not that these people own it on this server, and then these people own it on another server, because it makes you a lot more vested in trying to take it.
Yeah.
And anyway,
that zone is massive. It's a big zone.
Yeah.
So.
And from what I understand, there are some areas. So, if you're in a smaller guild, well, you can take over one of the holdings outside of there, the one that helps. If you get the wood shop area, or I don't know what it's called, then maybe whatever keep you're supporting, because you hold that, their guards have better armor or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot to do, and Man, did you see the siege weapons? Those are awesome.
Yeah, it looks good, and even just the the graphics of the walls falling down and things like that. It looks
You have to
very
go
well
up
done.
to gather the mats to make those things, which is a whole nother thing. So like,
Mhm.
you're gonna show up. It's like, oh, do we want to really blow all our mats on putting this, putting a trebuchet down or something like that? Well, that's gonna have to all be worked out. I think it sounds cool.
Mhm.
It's cool. We will be there.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else on that?
Just that my initial impressions are very meh, but this PvP and what we plan to do there has me. My interest has gotten back into the game, so I'm
Good.
kind of looking forward to this launch.
Awesome.
Also, the fact it's kind of like the end of the night when the one girl at the bar that's left looks kind of good. There isn't a lot of other things coming out, right? What do we have to look forward to? We've got a lot of stuff that we can play, like Landmark, but
Yeah.
do you want to burn a lot of time in Landmark before they have mobs in it and stuff? I'm looking forward to see what happens, but what else is there? There's WildStar. Well, I mean, I'll probably buy WildStar. I don't have high hopes for it. I mean, not that I don't have high hopes for the game. I don't have high hopes for it meeting my interest level. What I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So it's also kind of like I'm ready to play an MMO with everybody, and that's kind of the one we got. And not that I'm looking forward to it because of the PvP especially, but bottom line is, what else do we have? So that's kind of it.
Yep. If we want a new game and something we can kind of play as a sandbox, mostly this is the only thing coming out.
Yeah, that I can think of.
Mhm.
All right, so we about done with this?
Yeah, let's wrap this up, dude.
In about an hour.
A little longer.
Okay. Well, anyway, thanks for listening. You can find us at where are we? www.thesandbox.com or
Sandboxpodcast.com.
You put the link in the show notes before you
Yeah.
call it, so you get them right.
I was trying to pretend like I wasn't reading it. All together. Anyway, my Twitter is Sandbox Podcast. Find Nate at
Nate Ryle.
that's NATERYL
Mm-hmm.
and Sandbox Quint.
I'll be there.
Also, we are Twitch streaming these podcasts and a lot of other stuff. We're just using Quint's Twitch TV channel, twitch.tv/sandboxquint.
Yep.
Also, check out Nate's been back on his blog, writing stuff that you have to read. You can't listen to it; you have to read it. At www.lovesandboxes.com. I guess I don't have to say www. I think people figure that out, right?
Yeah, I don't even
Yep.
think it's required.
Anyway, so okay, check us out, and this will be posted on YouTube. Hopefully, you're watching on YouTube. Give us some feedback. And I know I screwed up the intro, so you don't have to remind me.
That's all right. The video's gonna have some loud banging and chair squeaking. So.
Is that? All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Peace.